How to change your life forever. These two shifts can do this for you and can really help you change your life. So welcome back again. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer, another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming. If you're watching live, as I always share, please write down their hashtag live. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. Remember, I'm doing this for free for the community. I'm sharing a lot of insight tools to help as many people as I can around the world. So when you engage with this on social media, more people get to see it. So I would really appreciate if you can send me some love, write there some comments on the post that I'm doing on this live so that more people are able to see it. If you're on YouTube, if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can share me some love, again, thank you very much, because that is going to allow this to be shown to more people. So let's get together. Let's start with this topic today, how to change your life forever. These two shifts that are not small, but important shifts that you can do. First of all, the first thing that can really help you change your life forever is to understand that there's not one world out there. Whatever you're going through is, in a way, what I want to share here is that whenever you're seeing something that you're going through, that's your unique way of seeing that. I can put a picture of a dog right here. I can bring my dog over here right now. And a lot of people out there can go through different emotions, different feelings, even different thoughts with the same dog in front of you. Somebody can lose a job and can feel happy about it because now they're going to pursue their own, dreams. Somebody can, lose a job and can go into depression. So we need to understand that there's not just one world, one truth. Every person in the world is seeing the world in their own unique way. So when we think that because we're seeing something, it's so obvious and everybody else should be seeing the same thing, that is wrong. Why? Because we're seeing the world out of our own programming, our own experiences. The way we process what we're seeing, although it's the same for everyone, as I said, right? The world is the same, what we're seeing, the same event, is different for every person, not because the thing that you're seeing is different, is because the person seeing it has their own unique way of seeing it. And this can really help you understand when people don't understand you. It can help you understand when you are not getting other people. Because if I'm struggling with something and for somebody else seems so obvious, the solution, or you tell me you should do this or that, you should just push harder, whatever, they're not seeing the world that I'm seeing. To give you an example, I'm working with a woman that each time she goes on vacations, she feels stressed out, she feels anxious, she's not able to enjoy her vacations. And that just came up, last session. So she just figured out that she's not being able to enjoy her vacation because when she was a kid, when mom and dad separated, they got divorced. Each time she went on vacations with dad, she saw her mom torn, sad, stressed out. She saw mom very upset because dad was taking her daughter on vacations, right? So as she experienced that, she started learning that it was not okay to enjoy vacations. So she felt guilty about going on vacations. She felt anxious, she felt stressed, and she didn't know what was going on because she was reliving past memories from her childhood. So for some person, most people might think, oh, vacations, you should relax, Tommy, just relax, chill, put your feet up, enjoy. People wouldn't get, in many cases, this woman that is not being able to relax on her vacations. She's seeing the world, although it's one world, in her own way. So every person has a view of the world in their unique way. And this is exactly the work that I do. I help people understand why they struggle. because the struggle is just a byproduct of a program, of a story that you're telling yourself. And that story, in 99% of the cases, was created during childhood, growing up. Because remember, we come to this world with a blank slate. So when we're exposed to our environment as kids, we start creating different meanings to things, meanings to vacations, meanings to family, meanings to men, meaning to women, meaning to kids, meaning to everything. I've worked with people that still even today think that kids shouldn't be, allowed to speak up. Why? Because that's what they were taught. And things have changed. Yes, thank God. But we need to understand that our minds many times are still living our past. All these people that say that the past is gone, it's not gone. The past exists. So if you can understand that every person sees what they're seeing from their past experiences, their programs, their beliefs, it's going to make it easier to be able to now, whenever somebody doesn't agree with you, when somebody thinks different, or when you feel that everybody else thinks different than you, there's a reason behind it. So instead of beating yourself up, or instead of trying to convince somebody else to think like you, try to understand where that person is coming from. Every person is seeing a situation in their own way. So if I can really grasp that, I can really understand that, it's going to make it easier to navigate my own journey and be able to understand other people's journey. First thing. So there's not just one world in our mind. There's our unique world. So although we might be looking at the sun, although we might be looking at a scenery in the mountains, a scenery in the beach, and for me, that might be the best scenery in the world. For somebody else, it could be the worst. Some people might hate the beach because that's where they had a really traumatic moment as kids. That's where maybe a loved one passed away. So now they associated beach equals pain. Seriously. I know people that hate the sand. Why? Because they had bad experiences as kids, right? That they had to be, clean and, that created an idea that, oh, the sand is, in a way dirty. It stains, it sticks to my body, and I don't like that. Those are all mental constructs. So first thing. Second thing, very important. Most people fall, unfortunately, into what we call victim mode. Why? Because the mind, in a sense, to protect you, is going to go into that mode. Yes, to protect you. Again, as I just said. So when we are struggling, right, if we're able to catch ourselves that we're falling into the victim mode and understanding that that is a protective mechanism from the mind, right, and things that, again, it was constructed as kids, is going to make it easier to then be able to slowly start transitioning into understanding that we are creators in our life. If I don't like my job, right, and I'm not being able to walk away, why am I not be able to walk away? Because I have a family. And you can still get some interviews. You can still find a way to change up. Doesn't mean quit and walk away and not earn for a couple of months till you find another job. Maybe in the same, as you work, you start looking for another job. If you don't like your partner, maybe why is it that you're not walking away? If you want to find a partner, why aren't you taking the actions to meet new people? If you're trying to build a business, why aren't you taking the actions to build your business? A lot of people fall into this victim of like, oh, I cannot do this. This is so difficult. They feel powerless and they become this, they fall, into this victim mode. Like they cannot do it. But that is, again, another programming that was created in your mind. So you need to understand that you are the creator in your life. If you're not being able to exert that, to practice that, exercise that, is because you have programmings that are holding you back from creating the life that you desire. Am I saying that that is easy? No, I'm not saying that is easy, but it's the best way to move forward in your life, because when you start believing that you create the life that you want, you can change jobs, you can start your own business, you can do the things that you want. and work on why you're not doing them. Because again, from programmings, maybe I feel that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't want to feel rejected. The entrepreneur journey, right, is there's a lot of rejection in play, because a lot of people might not want to work with you, not want to buy. People take that personally, because maybe when they were kids, they were rejected or they were judged a lot. A lot of people are struggling with different type of, problems, like maybe not being able to go to the gym, maybe, eating healthier, maybe struggling with a relationship. Whatever it is that you're struggling, there is a program in the back of your head that is creating that. That means that you can start exploring the mind, understand what's going on, and work on changing that program to be able to start making changes. As I said, again, this woman that didn't want to go, that felt guilty on going vacations, couldn't enjoy her vacations, we're starting to work on reprogramming. This was found last session. We had a big revelation last session. So we're not trying to work on reprogramming that. But I've seen this in play with this woman in other areas of her life and in other people that I work with. As you rewrite those programs, things start changing. It's not going to be an overnight thing, maybe, but things start changing. So we need to start looking back where we were, where we are. Maybe we're not where we want to be, but we're working towards where we want to be. A lot of people start beating themselves up because they're not where they would like to be. But where were you? Where are you? Look at that change and keep practicing what you're doing, because eventually when you start changing a couple of degrees, I'm going this way north, right? And I change a couple of degrees. If I keep going on that line, eventually those lines are going to start separating. I'm going to start seeing a bigger gap of where I was, where I'm at. So if I feel that something is working, continue doing that, because eventually it's going to bring more and more change. So working on this woman on creating a new path, right? A new path to slowly move her away from not being able to enjoy her vacations, have fun, not feel guilt or shame for going vacations, because she relives that memory of her mom feeling very upset when she left as a little girl. So now that she's leaving on vacation without her mom, seriously, she's a grown-up woman, doesn't matter. The mind keeps replaying the past. She relives this moment of mom feeling upset of her leaving. She doesn't want that, so she doesn't enjoy her vacation. Though she organizes, she travels, she's not able of enjoying those vacations. So the idea is to be able to work on these things, these shifts, understanding that the world that I'm seeing might not be the world outside. Why? Because I'm seeing and interpreting in my own way. The same happens with other people that might not understand you, or people that you might not understand. Second thing, you are the creator in your life. I believe that we're spiritual beings living a human experience. So it means that a part of God is inside of us. So it means that we are co-creators with God. It means that we can co-create our life. But we need to work on what's holding us back. What is holding us back? Our programs in the mind. So when you fall in victim mode, it's okay. Don't judge yourself or beat yourself up if you're falling into victim mode. Just realize and start saying, a part of me, listen to this, a part of me is falling into victim. Why is this part of me falling into this? It's protecting me from what? Right? From not taking actions. Why? Would it rather go into victim mode than taking actions? And I've talked and I worked with several successful people out there that were very successful in different areas, but in other areas, maybe they were struggling, right? And what I've seen is that in some cases, they were using or a very traumatic moment in their life to prove to themselves that they were good enough. So they went out into the world and created a successful business or created things out of pain of not wanting to be a failure. Those are a few. Others were able to felt bad about themselves, didn't know if they were going to make it. They were pushed by a dad, by mom. They hit a goal. They were able to realize that if they worked harder, they were going to be able to get results. Few people out there. For a lot of people out there, for most people out there, they tried things and they didn't work. So the mind said, oh, I'd rather not try again, because if I try again and I fail again, the pain is going to be so big that I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there. So people tend to fall into victim mode, not taking actions as a protective mechanism. So instead of beating yourself up, try to understand what are the programs that are pushing you into victim mode, to start realizing and accepting that you are a creator in your life, and that you can start slowly creating the changes that you want. How create the changes that you want? By understanding the programmings in the mind, the programs in the mind that are holding you back to move forward. So understand that the world that you're seeing might not be the only world out there, right? In the sense that how you interpret what's going on is your own interpretation. How other people see a situation could vary in millions or billions around the world. You put a dog out there and put 10 people, and I guarantee that the 10 people are going to feel different things. If you see the different things that each one of, you can find maybe some overlaps, some might feel some happiness with a dog. But if you ask them to write 5 emotions that a dog brings to them, I'm pretty sure that you're going to find everybody that wrote something different. That comes from our programming from our past, from our upbringing, the environment we're in, and the stories we create in our mind. Those stories create emotions. Those emotions create behaviors. When you start understanding this more, the more you understand the mind, the easier, not easy, but the easier it makes it to start making changes. A lot of people out there are repressing, ignoring, moving to the side, whatever bothers them. But today, I give this example to a woman. If I have my house that is a freaking mess, right? And I stuff everything in a room, store everything in a room, put it away, and I close the door. Did I solve the problem? Yes and no. The rest of the house looks nice, looks clean, but there's one room that has everything in there. This is what most people are doing when you ignore, you push away, and big names out there teach that, right? Edgar Tolle tells you that the negative emotions that come up or the negative thoughts are not you. Just let them pass, let them go, ignore them, kick them away. That is throwing trash into a room, closing the door and pretending it's not there. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with that. And the mind, going back to the mind as conscious mind and subconscious mind, in the subconscious mind, we have a lot of trash to bring out. So by ignoring it, we're not solving the problem. We're just postponing it. So if you want to become a co-creator in your life, start creating the life that you want, you need to deal with the negatives. You need to deal with your unresolved issues. I was telling this woman that is not able to enjoy her vacations. And I've seen this over and over again. I was working with a woman that she was struggling with men. She would always fall for the wrong men. Although she didn't want to fall for the wrong men, she always chose the wrong men. When I asked her, make me a list of the things that you're looking for a man to have. Emotional availability, that they're kind, respectful, nice. She wrote a list of very nice traits that she was supposedly looking for a man. When I ask her, okay, this is your list. The men that you're falling for, do they correlate with that? Is there any connection between the list that you created just now and the men that you fall for? She's like, no, the men that I fall for normally check the opposite of my list. So I said, okay, so do you see that there is something there that you think that you want something, but you fall for the opposite? She's like, yeah, I don't know why, tell me. So we started digging into the subconscious mind. And when she was a little girl, mom would always complain about men, especially about dad. So she would say, men are all, mean or disrespectful, because she was talking about dad. So this little girl started making in her mind that men were this emotionally unavailable, disrespectful, not kind, self-centered, narcissist. So she made a list in her mind subconsciously of what she needed to find. So when she was able to become a co-creator in her life, understand that that was not serving her anymore, following what mom told her, we did the work. Eventually, she was able to fall for the first time fall in love with a guy that was emotionally available, respectful, nice, compassionate, and that had several of the traits that she was looking for many years. So when you're able to understand that how you see the world is your unique way, and that you can create what you want, but you need to reprogram the mind, is going to allow you to start making changes. Yes, it is about dealing with your negatives, and yes, it is painful. Yes, it is. But if you want to make a change in your life, you need to face the pain. If you want to increase your muscles in your body, if you want to lose weight, it's going to take some pain for your muscles to do exercise. The mind is the same. There is some pain involved. If I don't face that pain, I will not be able to really become the creator that I want in my life. I'm going to keep struggling. And this is what I shared today, how to start changing your life forever with these two shifts in your mindset, understanding that how you see the world is your unique way, and nobody else is going to be able to really understand that except they start getting into your mind, helping you, like listening to you and being there for you, right? And the other one is that you are a co-creator. But unfortunately, we have been taught to blame everybody else for our problems, whether it is from God, to our boss, to our partner, to our kids, to our neighbor, to our family. We have been trained since childhood to blame everybody else instead of taking charge in our life and become a co-creator. So thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying this, let me know there in the chat. Again, as I said, the more people engage with this, there are more chances of people to benefit from the things that I do. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, share, please. It would be awesome if you can do that. It doesn't cost anything. You just subscribe, you just follow me. Whether it is on Facebook also, you can follow me. The more people see this, the more people hope can benefit. So again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye. Let's stay here.